Okay, this is The Howling. The Howling is a horror sci-fi movie from way back in the 80s, 81. And this movie is not for the moist of heart. I tell you that right now. Um, this is one of the most scary movies the that's ever been made, next to The Thing. The Thing is the most terrifying suspense horror, and The Howling is the most terrifying horror movie that I've seen, and I've seen them all. Uh, it's the most the special effects is top notch for the time. You've never seen transformations like this. The movies they show today, they do not have the expertise, they don't have the patience, they don't have anything it takes to make a movie of this caliber. The best scenes are the transformations, and there's a little action where there's some fighting and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's all about the horror, the terror, how they set up the scenes. This is beautiful work, and y'all guys have to see it. If you like being terrified, instead of like these movies today where they just flicker a light off and on and people are so scared and say there's a ghost, like paranormal activities. Oh, that was so craziness, man. I couldn't watch that. That was nothing but people playing in the dark. Come on. And y'all paid money for that? You want to be afraid? You turn off the lights and you watch The Howling. I guarantee you, if it doesn't shake you to your boots, then you don't want to be scared. You just can't. There's something's wrong with you, man. There's nothing that I can do to help you. But The Howling, just the first one. All of the others are crap. But watch this movie. Here's the transformation scene. Let's watch it. Hold on. I've never seen anything like this up to this point. American Werewolf in London was nothing like this. This is a spectacular movie, man. Look at this. They took their time. Look at that. His fingernails grow. We've never seen nothing like that. I know CG effects today, yeah, but they do that in seconds. They don't take the time. Look at all of that. Expanding chest, tearing off his clothes, his forehead. That shit looks painful. He's growing. You can see the scene behind him. Everything's getting shorter. Now his snout. They're giving a profile so that you can see the snout and the ears growing. Look at his crazy fingers. Here's the snout part. I'm telling you, the girl, if I think it was Dee Wallace in the scene watching this, it could have been her girlfriend, and Dee came later. But if I was standing there watching this happen, I would be crapping my drawers with the quickness. There's no way I could watch something like this without crapping myself. I'm telling you, I used to love these movies back in the days. This is what made me want to create all of these types of movies. That's what made me want to create, man. You watch The Howling. The Howling is one of the best werewolf movies you will ever see in life. I don't think there's any that has been made that could compare. Um, the one with Benicio del Toro, compared to this, um, Underworld was good for the type of movie it was, where it was warring against the vampires and the werewolves. The transformations were quick because they had to be done on the fly in order to get into battle, in battle mode, so I can understand why they did it like that. But for a horror flick, there hasn't been anything like these. Back in the 80s, they had to depend on in-camera work. So they had to depend on the setup, the suspense, and then the makeup artists. And you guys have not seen technical makeup work until you watch these movies. If you don't believe that is true, you're not going to be going, oh, that's corny, oh, that's makeup. You're going to be shitting yourself. Even today, for all of you high-tech guys who like all of the special effects, I guarantee you watch The Howling and you will definitely crap your pants. This is one of my first movie reviews. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of classic movie reviews. I'm going to be coming up with some good ones that y'all have never heard of. I'm going to do some famous ones that y'all have heard of. So be prepared, because there's going to be another one right behind this one sometime today. So enjoy the effects. Enjoy the review, and I hope you guys appreciate what I'm trying to show you. If you do, leave a like, do your YouTube thing, and share, subscribe, do all of that YouTube you do thing, and help me build my channel. And I guarantee you great stories, because I will be putting out my comic book, and maybe in about a year. I was working on some of the details of my story, getting all of the, well, not the details, trying to fine tune it down to the detail part, because right now I'm broad stroking, trying to get all of the Illuminati part. They're not the Illuminati, but I can't give away their names just yet. So if you guys can be patient with me, I'm trying to figure out how this YouTube thing works. If y'all can give me any helping hands, I would appreciate it. I have a couple of gadgets like that desktop control thing, but I just haven't hooked it up yet, so I can try to figure out how to put some more professional looks to my videos. If y'all can, like I said, do anything you can do to help me promote, ask questions, leave comments, so that I have to start checking. I don't think I was getting many comments in my first few videos. Hopefully, y'all, if I can build my my channel to a point where y'all can go back and review some of the earlier videos and maybe leave me some questions there. But for now, I really like any questions about the story that I'm working. I'm going to have some videos about power coming up, personal power. I'm going to be doing a lot of movie reviews from back in the 80s, 90s, the classic stuff, old cartoons, new cartoons, because that's my thing. I collected almost every cartoon that I've loved over the years, from DuckTales to Johnny Quest to Thundercats, old and new, to anime, Legend of Crystania, Legend of Lotus War. Matter of fact, Legend of Lotus War came first, and then Legend of Crystania was a spin-off. So these are old animes you guys have never heard of. Akira, Ninja Scroll. I'm into all of that stuff. So all of these ideals and ideas, I'm not trying to put them into my stories, but I want the same feel. I want to have the same action, the same pacing, the same types of emotional um, gravity that draws you in. Um, these are the things that I want you to know about me. This is why I'm making these videos, so that you get to know my intentions from my expectations. And you'll be able to see that when I come out with my story and start hitting y'all with the splash pages and the panel work and all of that, because this is stuff that I've been practicing, but I just never got around to it, because I really gave up on the idea of making a comic book, because for the fact that first of all, I didn't think that I'd ever get a chance to work in a place like Marvel or DC, especially Marvel. I know DC had their little black group, the Milestone, but I didn't really appreciate the artist's work in the Milestone comic division. I think they should have had way better artists. I think they shouldn't have bitten so hard on established um, characters, like Hardware is based on Iron Man and Icon is directly based on Superman. These things I didn't like about it. So I could see why my Milestone didn't really last that long. I'm trying to build all original stuff. I'm sure there's gonna be people who say that some of my stuff has been what's that word y'all use? Analoged, but I do not build my characters that way. I build them from their names up and out. I get the names first, their abilities, then I try to figure out origins. I design them last. I try to figure out their abilities and then see if there's too much or not enough, depending on the character, and then I go from there. That's when the designing starts, and then usually from the description and the name, I determine his attitude. And so none of my characters is say, and you're gonna hear this a lot in my videos. None of my characters is like, I want to make my version of Superman. I want to make my version of Batman. I want to make my version of Green Lantern. Even though I do have characters that highly, but Green Lantern is such a specialized character that anything that's even slightly resembles that character, you're going to associate with him because he has a very unique skill set. So, I do have all of these, like I said, 10,000 characters, possible characters that I have to work from. I have upwards of 100 that I've established for my story, this particular story, Thug City. I'm going to be calling it that until I actually get a Indiegogo page started. I'm going to be calling it Thug City, even though that's just a placeholder, because I don't know all of the rules about the copywriting game, the publishing game, and the trademarking game. So everything I'm going to be telling you is going to be really obscure, stuff that any story can have. I'm not going to be telling any details, how any transitions happen, but I will be trying to get you to see that my story is not going to be criticizing any particular ethnic group. It's not going to, unless it's furthering my storyline, my plots and subplots. But there's not going to be any, I don't like this race, I don't like the, you will never get that feeling, I hope, that I hate any particular race, because I'm going to have all kinds, from Native American to Asian, African, Russian. I'm gonna have everybody I could think of that came up with good names for, and I'm gonna eventually have them slidden into the story. But that's gonna come slowly. At first, I'm gonna go with my base characters. They probably mostly gonna be white and black. Like I said, I'm gonna have maybe one or two extras that slide in there. I'm gonna have a lot of cameo appearances. So, look for Thug City. Look for videos about it. I will be coming up with. I don't know if I'm how much design I can show you. Like I said, I have to figure out. Or if any guys out there who's publishing comics, they know about the publishing game and the pirators who steal ideas. I don't want to show too much work. I want to show you how I draw so that you get an idea of how good my art is, because I think it speaks for itself. Um, how unique in comparison to other artists, I don't know. It's not a Todd McFarlane style, but which is totally unique. But I'd say I'm more mainstream style. But I can get bulky if I choose to. I can do thin, fat, bulky muscles. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Muscles, muscularity. I can do bulky muscles like the Hulk, thin muscles like Flash. I can do all sizes, all characters. I can do children. I got children characters crazy. I got this one called God Tomb. Woo! It's about children. It reminds me of when I was a kid. This time when I was in Catholic school, and we used to go. We had a veteran hospital around where I live, and behind the hospital they had old barracks that was abandoned, and we used to sneak into these. There was a hole in the fence, and we used to sneak in and play round up and tag and all of these games in the abandoned barracks and around the barracks, because it was really wooded area and high woods, and so it was good for playing these types of games. We used to play in abandoned buildings and all of these things, half derelict buildings, all of these things. So this kind of reminds me. The story reminds me of that time when I was young and a group of my friends. But something happens in the story and changes everything, and it's a great little kid story. Well, I guess we could call it a kid story. It's a little bit more adult oriented as far as the things that happen and that these kids are forced to deal with, but it's a really good story. It's a really good story, from my opinion. So, if anybody, like I said, a lot of these stories aren't fully developed. I get these ideas, I write them down, and I am forced to leave them alone and come back to them later because I haven't finished stories that I started years ago, like my Stone God story, my Assassins story. I have twin assassins. I have aliens coming to Earth, gods coming to Earth, or so-called gods. Apocalyptic type stories, at least 2 or 3 different versions. I've got demon stories. I've got at least 4 or 5 different demonic type stories. One even having to do with the Pope himself. I have so many different ideas for everything. So if anybody ever wants to get in on the ground floor of some of these ideas, please come up with some kind of a offer, even if it's some kind of like a trust, so that I can prove myself with a small fee up front, 20,000 a year or some crap like that, until the pilot is picked up or put out. Or if I come up with some video game ideas, oh, I'm Mr. Idea. I'm telling you, I've got patent ideas. I'm Shaq. Get at me, son. I'm telling you, I got big money in some of these ideas. But yeah, do the whole sharing and all of that, and I'll get back at you later. Uh, I'm out.